One thing I love about African culture is it's a little more laid back and relaxed. Time doesn't matter as much. They care a lot about relationships and other people and building those relationships. And I learned a lot from the African culture.
People will tease you all the time. Like, if people like you, they tease you. It's just the way it is. Sometimes people don't catch that, like, it's because I care. Like, if I didn't care, I wouldn't bother to tease you. It's really cool. The humor is really different as well. South Africans are really blunt. Like, they're not like super passive people. Like, they'll tell you if they have a problem or if something's bothering them, which is really nice because you never like have to wonder or guess, or like, it's really nice. You have to have kind of thick skin, but because everyone does, like, you can tell when someone means something offensively, but that's really the case, rarely the case. People are just really honest, and it's kind of nice because you can actually fix a problem because you know that there is one. But when I came to the States, like, people are super passive. They expect people to pick up signs and really like subtle understatements or anything like that, and especially with my American companions, sometimes that was really hard because I was pretty oblivious because I figured if they have something wrong, they'd tell me. But no, people really want to be nice, and that's kind of nice too. But sometimes it's hard because you don't like even realize that there's a problem, and so they just like see it inside, and you're just like going and just fine. And I figured out that like communication's pretty good. I think with Americans, I had to let them know, like, hey, I really am not going to pick up any signals, you know. So if you just tell me, that would be great. I promise I won't get offended. I'll just try and fix it. I wouldn't have known, you know, otherwise. And I'll probably tell you if I have a problem, and I hope you, like, I really don't mean it offensively, and I don't hate you. I just want to let you know so that you know. But I really love both places for different reasons. Like, here, people are really sweet, really willing to help, and they care about what other people think, but not necessarily in a bad way, in a way to make people comfortable. But I really love South Africa because you know exactly where you stand with someone, and if you're not standing where you want to be, you can make changes and get there. You can always work to something.
South Africa is a great place to be from. It's really one of the most beautiful countries in the world. I grew up in a suburb of Johannesburg. South Africa, you know, there's mountains, there's plains, there's beaches, best beaches in the world. And so it's just a very diverse place. There's always something to do there. And the people are funny as anything. You know, you see movies about South Africans, you read articles about South Africans, and most of the time it's pretty dang accurate. Man, we're a wild bunch. And so these people are so dedicated to what they believe is true, and it's so great to see that. Most people don't realize how big it is. You know, people think of Africa and they're like, oh, you know, grass huts and savannas, wild animals run everywhere, things like that. It's not entirely true. The city I grew up in has 12 million people in it. You know, that's, you know, about the same size as New York City. It's not a small place. And so there's a lot of city in South Africa. It's pretty westernized. You know, we got high rises, we got public transport, roads and cars and things like that. And people are like, do you ever find like wild animals in your backyard and stuff like that? I was like, no, I grew up in the suburbs, probably just like you did. So the difference is we had giant walls and guard dogs, but life in the suburbs is the same as it would be anywhere, I'd imagine.